¿Quién de ustedes es alguien? Oh, my apologies. I seem to be just a little different. Growing up, I was striving to be somebody, and yet I seemed to always be nobody. Nobody in my family got good grades, yet I did. Nobody in my family was in the honors program, yet I was. Nobody in my family could read, write, and translate English to Spanish or Spanish to English, but yet at 5 years old, I had learned to read and write, and by 9 years old, I was translating for my teachers. And then nobody in my family, especially no female, graduated from high school or went on to college. After all, both of my sisters dropped out of high school and got pregnant. Not necessarily in that order. But how much of a nobody was I? Well, once I got into corporate America, nobody on my team wanted projects, so I took them on. I didn't mind. And nobody at my entry level was speaking to middle and upper management, yet I was presenting to them in a room full of experience and knowledge. And in a way, a lot of people said, wow, very dedicated. And yes, I have high expectations and I do have high work ethics. I love to provide world-class service. But it was beyond that. I realized why it was that I was focusing so much on school and work. Now, how many of you have experienced challenges? And how many of you have compensated for those challenges that are stressing you out? Well, for me, I overcompensated. I spent all my time in school and in work, and I neglected my family. And I found out the reason for that is that as I was growing up, I had a character-building life, because I don't want to call it a bad home situation. Never mind that as a kid, I was molested and I was beat for what I considered no reason. I was a good girl and I didn't want to give anybody a reason to be upset with me. And by the time I was a teenager, I had a mother that psychologically and emotionally was blaming me for everything. If it rained, guess whose fault it was? Yep, it was me. Bet you didn't know I had that kind of power, right? Well, I never shared any of that with anybody. And the reason was because nobody in my family shared that. And I contemplated suicide during this time in my life. And I had to learn how to persevere. As I moved on in corporate America, everything seemed that I was doing great, but nobody was living inside of my mind except for me. Nobody knew what was really going on. And as I moved on in corporate America, I had peers that said that nobody worked so hard because it was making them look bad, and a boss that nobody questioned except for me. But that's okay. As I've realized over the years is that being nobody, it has made me unique. After all, I'm the one that puts on the red nose just because I can have somebody laugh at my goofiness. And I've been able to realize that I'm a little different, but I accept it and I love it. And how about you? Are you having a character building day? Are you nobody today? If you are, enjoy it. Gracias.